So it is very important if they're getting DSO, you can still call in when they're 17 and a half. Just identify that they do have services under DSO. That quickens the process. We'll call you 2 to 3 weeks prior to and make the appointment. And then again, as I said, it shortens that. If they're 18, they're not getting the DSO, it'll take maybe 2 weeks to 3 or 4 months, just depending. They still have to meet the financial.
They already have a medical diagnosis, then you don't have to go through DSO, you just call you.
You still have, okay, you call anyways, that's okay, questions are okay. But if they're eligible for services under DSO, that makes them the prescribed class. So that takes out the medical piece altogether. Okay, so that's the medical piece that we need. And then they just have to meet the financial eligibility requirements. If they don't have any services through DSO, then they have to go through the medical portion. So that portion in itself can take a while. So there's a report that a parent and the child might fill out. There's a portion that the doctor fills out, and it all comes back together and then gets sent to Toronto. And that can be a lengthy process. This just shortens it.
Oh, I'm up. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I was like, I just whispered the numbers out. Hi, I'm Will Candlish, and I hate sitting down, so I'm going to stand up. I hope that's okay. I like to talk quickly as well, so I apologize profoundly. I have the privilege of working for a company that has about 600 employees, whose one outcome is building inclusion in the community. And I think that's about the best job that I could possibly have. What's even cooler is that I get to be the thin edge of the wedge of that company that builds inclusion. We are the people who help people access the community, basically is the way I like to think about it. Under my purview, we have our employment services, which helps people find and keep jobs. We have volunteering, supported volunteering, which helps people find and keep volunteer positions. We have also some day programs, which I run. And on top of that, we also have our fee-for-service model, which is called Leg Up. Leg Up is a chance for people to choose targeted learning opportunities in a small, well, basically a 6-person environment at the absolute maximum, and it's an opportunity to work on very specific targeted skills. So it might be literacy, numeracy, steps towards independence, a chance to learn how to cook. There's a huge variety of courses which are available. Ultimately, we as an agency have residential opportunities as well too. As Shimona mentioned, a large number of our things are ministry funded, which means they're free if you qualify and if you can handle the waiting list. If on the other hand you're willing to do fee for service, you can access those services immediately. Our fee for service may appear expensive, but I assure you all we ever do is recoup our costs with it. There's nothing else. We're not making money off of it. We do it because we want to try and offer services to as many people in the community as we possibly can. I guess I could keep going and talk about KWHAB for a long time if anyone would like, but I'm happy to answer questions if there's any. Yeah.
I'm not very familiar with this, but I've heard that if you have a special needs child or a young adult, there are certain employers who will employ that special needs child in their work environment.
Okay.
Now, do they get a grant for employing that child?
So I've worked in employment directly, both as someone who helped people find jobs as an employment specialist, and also as management of a program. I've never needed to use any sort of what's the term I'm after? Subsidy. I've never needed to use a subsidy ever to help someone find a job. Lots of employers, especially if you're going to bring in staff who are trained, and mine are, on how to help someone learn a job quickly and be as good as anybody else on that job in a short period of time. Never had a problem finding that. So there are lots of employers that hire from us. We work directly with 86 employers in the community, and we actually have far more employers that we have ongoing contact with, but those are ones where we have direct placements with at this moment that are active that we're coaching. So there are a lot of employers in the community that we work with directly, constantly. On top of that, we also work with pretty much every single agency in the area that might be looking for people to volunteer, and we have coach positions there as well too. Did I answer your question? Yes, sir.
So I'm thinking that what you're saying is your services kick in after the child has finished high school.
That's correct.
Basically, so.
Sort of. We have other services that we also offer. We do all of the early learning throughout the entire region as well too.
Yeah.
So we have people who go into daycares and early learning centers and provide some targeted supports for people as well too. But that's another aspect of kid rehabilitation.
So you basically, when, say, my son turns 18, finishes high school, and he decided that KHAB would go, he could go to KHAB and then he could learn a skill that would help him go out and find a job.
Sure, that's a possibility, yeah. We also do have children's homes. We have a number of other options that we do provide as well too. But my services, typically we're looking for people over the age of 18 to access our services. We do also have a summer camp coming up for kids who are over the age of 16 called YEP. That stands for Youth Exploring Possibilities. The idea of YEP is to really help people explore the possibilities of their community. The focus is on volunteering opportunities as well as employment. There is some leisure as well too, lest you think we're going to take your kids somewhere and ruin the whole thing by working. But it is an opportunity. The other program that we just got this year as well too is that we will be looking to recruit some high school students that we will actually help find summer jobs, and then we will coach them the entire time on their summer job until they're proficient at it. So there's a lot of options that we have, and there's no charge for that program either. So we actually do have a lot of options that would actually apply to kids who are in high school still as well too. Oh, got another question at the back first.
For the leg up program, what would be the fee for that?
$265.50.
A week?
No, that's for a 10-week course.
Oh.
Yep. So there'd be roughly 3 hours of instructional time in there as well. You can also, if your child, in this case, sorry, I'm used to saying people we support because it's, but if your child does have more specific needs, or you want to really have a very small learning environment, we do also offer private tutoring for an hourly rate as well. Yeah.
You had mentioned the services that you offer for younger children.
Mm-hmm.
Can you expand a little bit on that, or not?
I don't know enough about it, to be quite honest. I just know that we do have early learning, and that's, how do we access early learning?
So to access for individuals under the age of 18 is through Developmental Services Resource Center. And there's an intake process there as well that you'd have to go through, and I can provide that number for you if you're not already connected.
Okay.
You want after.
After, I'd appreciate that.
But yeah, so there's an intake process there as well. You meet with a child intake worker, and then you'd go from there.
Okay.
Shiona saved my bacon.
Thank you.
Were there any other questions? We can also take them after if you sort of need them all for a question. Because I'm sure Shelley would like to speak as well.
No, you're doing a great job.
Oh, I doubt that.
I think our
How are we doing for
fingers
time?
are going to be sore.
Are we close for
How are we
time?
doing for time, Julie?
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Okay. I'm sitting, standing, not quite sure. I'll try standing. I'm a bit of a chatter, so I tend to make notes so that I don't go off on too much of a tangent. So I'm just going to read from a couple of notes. Don't worry, it's not all these for paper. All right, so I'm the director and co-founder of AIM Adults in Motion. It's a not-for-profit established in 2009. We're located in Oakville, Kitchener, and we're opening in Cambridge as well. We are open from Monday to Friday from 8 till 4. And participants attend on varying schedules, so either 1 day a week, 5 days a week. It is a fee-for-service based program. What that means, for anyone who doesn't know what fee-for-service means, is that you pay a monthly tuition in order to attend. Passport funding, which I'm not sure if you touched on passport specifically, but DSO funding that you can qualify for can also be applied to AIM fees. And that's how most of our parents do pay to attend. The AIM philosophy is actually quite simple. Our foundation is built on the belief that everyone deserves a place of belonging, valued, a place where what they do has purpose and meaning to them and to their community, and a place of safety, self-growth, and opportunity. So from a high school perspective, we do offer also high school attendance days. So PA days, March break, Christmas break, summer holidays is a time when high school students often come to us, sometimes as part of a transition plan where they're looking at options as they start thinking about graduating, and sometimes just simply because it's fun and they want to come. So one of our catchphrases is AIM amazing. That's so amazing. So I have written here, it says, what makes AIM so amazing, and why people ask us how we do it. And so some of our objectives are providing a safe and supportive environment, meaningful activities. And when I say meaningful activities, I'm not using it as the latest lingo of meaningful activities. It's really creating meaning in people's those days, which also means going out in the community and being connected, giving back, volunteerism. We call them supported work placements. It's not as much as what Will would do. I would say Will's probably more about real work. Our work placements are typically more volunteerism led, but have led to placements at places like the Pita Pit, Wimpy's Diner, where we actually have individuals who are going during AIM time to learn work skills. Also, our participants are interested in building friendships, social networks. It's beautiful to see when people have come to us at a younger age, their social network not very large, and then we see in pictures, sometimes they'll post on social media, they've gone to the movies or to dances with friends they've made from AIM, so really building that social network. Confidence building, life skills, increasing independence. So if you could imagine a regular day program that you would expect someone to be doing a day program, such as cooking and learning those types of life skills, we do that. But what we're doing is going above and beyond with that real community inclusion. It's not uncommon to find AIM participants at a school, reading to kindergarten students, at the food bank, helping during the holidays, at the Humane Society because we've made dog biscuits for the dogs. So what we like to do is we like to do really full circle type inclusion where we create a relationship, find a need that relationship the organization or person might have, find a way to fill that need for them through volunteerism, making something for them, doing something for them, and then giving back to them by going back out and delivering it. So it's really a full inclusion and immersing themselves in that relationship. Promoting physical health, exercise, and well-being. I talked about work skills and community involvement. One of the things that we have worked a lot on over the past 8 years since the Kitchener program opened was transition planning in our own way with people who are coming from either different programs, different places in life, or from high school, and working to be really flexible with families and individuals as they start transitioning. One of my favorite stories is about that. Is one of our original participants. When he first came to us, his big thing was delivering jokes down to the office. So we figured, well, how are we going to deliver jokes down to the office? He really wanted to bring this skill with him because it was part of how he identified him, his place in school. So we ended up delivering jokes down to Sunnyside Home, which is just down the street from us. So when I talk about kind of full circle and creating that community connection, that joke of the day that he delivered turned into us getting into the newsletter, turned into us creating the friendly visiting program with the seniors, and now we have a beautiful relationship between the two. So he inspired that. And so I just want to end off by who attends AIM, just to give a good picture. Do we have time?
Yeah.
For who attends AIM?
5-6 more minutes.
Okay, often, and I'll be quick so if anyone has questions for anybody here. So the typical AIM participant is interested in the core values at AIM, and those are social, involved with their community, being active, trying new things, and having fun. Their communication skills vary from nonverbal right up to proficient readers. Their skill levels vary between hand over hand and up to being capable of working in work placements in the community that are supported. Unless there are special circumstances, AIM participants typically toilet independently, but with reminders and basic assistance is always available. And a participant can travel from the AIM room to the bathroom independently without one-to-one supervision. So that's a picture of AIM. Oh, and on that, the reason I'm actually here today, which I should get to, and Will too, we can add Will into this as well, because
Am I agreeing?
you'll be here. Through the school board, Katie Rehab and AIM have offered up positions to the school board that students, while in their last few years of high school, I know the whole point we're here, while students are still in their last years of high school, they can come and participate with Day at AIM or in the leg up and or which programs you've assigned them to, so that they can get a feel for what a day program looks like. What does life after high school look like? What do I like? What do I not like? Do I like volunteering? All those types of things. And so we have approximately 4 spots at AIM. In the Kitchener program, we'll have another 4 spots in the Cambridge program. So if you're interested, if this sounds like something your child would like, or KW has, talk to your teacher, talk to us, and we'll see if we can get you hooked up. And it's for free.
we may be biased, but we're impressed at how innovative and thoughtful the Catholic School Board has been in terms of trying to reach out to the community to help with that transition, to really let people have a chance to see what it is that we offer. I think that's really awesome. One of the other things that we offer as well too is an opportunity to do a basic employment skills course, which I think you guys have, what, 8 people going through that as well too. So yeah, Tracy is such a dynamo, it's amazing. So
You're in good hands.
So were there questions? Yeah.
So how early would you get your child involved?
I think that would be the perfect one to speak to about that.
Well, for the spots that
Yeah,
that
say
they're
for
talking
those.
about, so it would be our transitioning aged youth in the school. So some students at 18, you know, you're struggling to keep them in. So that would be the perfect, right? So to me, that would be red flags, right? We're gonna have to try to find something that this individual wants to buy into. But really starting from, like for leg up, 17 at the youngest, right? So it's almost the last 3 years of school, but really focusing on those last 2 and that last year, right? We definitely want to see those students transitioning out with choices, that they've experienced a couple of things. Yes, they can get work experience, absolutely co-op through the school, for sure, and it's a dynamite program. But there are students that just won't be able to participate in that, right? So here, while we've got the support and while we can work as a team to work on those goals, so we're talking last 2 years, maybe 3, depending on where that student's at that in that third to last year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Are they typically retail positions?
I actually have the breakdown. I hate to do it off the top of my head and be wrong. About 30% of the positions that we have at retail, approximately 30% give or take will be restaurant. However, that still leaves the remaining, I'm going to do the math wrong, but 40% will be split between logistics. We also have people who are employed in office environments. We have people that are employed in manufacturing. We have people literally in all facets, and we even have some people working at Vidyard. So we have a pretty broad variety of options in terms of employment outcomes. One of our courses that we actually offer is Leg Up to Employability. And what's really neat about that is it gives a person a chance to explore the basic concepts of work. Following that, we have Leg Up to Work, which gives people a chance to try in 4 different work environments: industrial, office, mess this up. Industrial, office, also retail, and one other one I can't remember the name of right now. And it gives people a chance to do that with professional coaches. They finish that with a professional resume. They've got their references all together. They've had an opportunity to be coached in those different environments. They have a coaching report in terms of what works, what doesn't work for this person in their environment. And on top of that, they will be doing some reflection on whether they actually like this or not too. Because having been someone who did employment for years, the hardest thing is when someone new comes to you and they're like, what would you like to do? And they're like, I don't know, construction. Not helpful. Instead, people will have a much more targeted idea of what it is that they can do. And that really helps. One of the things that I think Tracy identified was, for a long time, many people with disabilities were never asked, what do you want to do when you grow up, right? And so it's all about fostering that conversation and starting it as early as we possibly can, and then transitioning into giving real opportunities to try, so that people, when they get to that point, instead of saying, I don't know, construction, they can instead say, I want to try this, and I think I can do that, and there's a lot of jobs around here that I can do. And one of the coolest things that are happening with the students now that are coming out is, instead of saying, I have a disability, I can't do this, instead we're getting, well, I have a disability, and to do my job, I just need to do this, right? So they're coming in with those accommodations already. That's how we change views.
And the nice thing, like Will had said, Will has offered us the leg up to employability. So our students are learning it like from kind of the ground up, right? So that they're getting the opportunity to go. So in that 4-week course, they go for 2 hours at a time. They might decide, this is not for me, right? This is not for me. Or they might say, I want to carry on with this, right? I want you to hook me up with Will because I want to do more.
I think we're getting moving noises.
We just got the 1 minute flag.
I had 2 minutes. Were there any other questions? Yes, sir.
Question for Sheila. I believe you mentioned that we need to have an updated psychological assessment. Is that correct?
You need to have a psychological assessment. Generally, if it's done after the age of 8, it's usually sufficient. Usually between 8 and 12 is the most ideal age. If it's older than that, sometimes an IEP can help support what's in that, and it would be fine. But for the most part, if it's done after the age of 8, usually we have a pretty good clear